What is up, Sooner Nation? I am Casey Mallon, and you are now. Come on, get with me. In a Sooner state of mind. Make sure you subscribe on Apple Podcast and Spotify, Google Play, and Amazon Music. BetOnline continues to be the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, the NBA, and college basketball, NHL to UFC. Head to BetOnline today and don't forget to use promo code BELIEVE for your welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online, the game starts here. Sooner state of mind, family, what is good? Well, I ain't always right, but I've never been wrong. Seldom turns out the way it does in a song. Once in a while, you get shown the light in the strangest of places if you look at it right. Been lots happening, man. It seems like even though the season is almost done, the news cycle just keeps churning and churning. So before we move on to the next phase, let's go ahead and look backwards real quick and show one of the most beloved Sooners of all times a little love. Danny Stutzman is officially a consensus All-American. Danny got recognized for his play because he is a badass mofo. He's the first consensus All-American at OU since CeeDee Lamb in 2019 and the first linebacker since Curtis Lofton in 2007. Stutz is OU's ninth linebacker to earn All-American honors, and he is the program's 83rd consensus All-American in its history. And Stutz is going to go down as one of the most beloved Sooners of all time. Top 10, top 20 for sure. I mean, that's tough sledding to get into the top 10, but absolutely top 20 when we needed his leadership and his ability and his sense of calm. He really came through for this program and for Sooner Nation, and I don't think that's lost on anybody. So even though he didn't get any championships with this squad, his contributions are definitely appreciated, maybe even to a higher degree than to some of those players that did win championships here. So congrats to Stutz. We'll be pulling for him in the pros, no matter where he goes. Even if it's a team I hate, I will have to appreciate what he does for them. But just a tremendous Sooner career. And I said it last time, if they decided to put a statue up of this guy, I would not object at all because he is one of the all-time greats for this program. So it sucks to see him go, but we're stoked for what's around the corner for this guy. What else? Anything else going on in the world of Soonerville? I know we've been sitting on pins and needles. But we finally got what we needed. Have no fear. Mateer is here. That's right. We're talking about John Mateer. On Wednesday, he committed to the Sooners, coming along with our new offensive coordinator, Ben Arbuckle, coming off a great, highly productive year with the Cougs. Completed almost 65% of his passes, over 3,100 yards, 29 touchdowns, throw in over 800 rushing yards and 15 touchdowns. And he led the nation in total touchdowns, also leading an offense, scoring almost 37 points a game. That was good for 11th in the nation. Dual threat QB is coming in. It's going to know the Arbuckle system. It's going to help teach it to the dudes. This is a tremendous get for the program. We've been waiting on it. We had heard speculation, and once the Arbuckle hire happened, we expected to hear more about this sooner. Took longer than we liked, but you know what? It's done. He's here, and it's a weird time in college football, that now it's going to be a bidding game for services of these players, and you're going to have to re-recruit your guys every year. And it sounds like there was a lot of competition for Mateer's services. Looked like Miami, the Canes, made a late push to try to get him out there. It made more sense to come to OU with Arbuckle, with the familiarity there, with a lot in place already. And then they were saying that the hoodie, Bill Belichick, made a late push. Him and TB12 tried to get in Mateer's ear, tried to get him to go to North Carolina. I don't know how much fire is around that smoke, but when the hoodie comes calling, you have to at least listen. But speaking of beloved Sooners, word is that our dude Baker Mayfield put in a call, talked to John about it, and that was enough to seal the deal. So, yeah, another reason why Sooner Nation loves Baker Mayfield so much. Pretty awesome that he spent the time to do that. And now we have our dude moving forward. We can step back off that ledge a little bit, breathe a little bit, feeling good about going into next season. Have some depth there at the position. Gotta love what we heard out of Michael Hawkins Jr. as well. He welcomed the competition, said he went to OU to be the quarterback at OU. He wasn't thinking about leaving. And how can you not love that out of a guy, especially at such an important position? He'll be able to learn a ton from Mateer. And also, you're always a hit away from going in there. He played this year, wasn't expecting to, got a lot of playing time. That'll serve him well moving forward. And he's going to have a tutor to help him learn this offense. It's a win-win for everybody. So completely stoked. That's the right mindset that you would hope that these players had. And it kind of goes hand in hand with the style of play we saw out of Hawk when he was in there on the field, putting it on the line, going airborne to try to score when he had to, doing whatever it takes. So you just love to hear that. And we'll get to see what Hawk can do in the bowl game next week. And we'll be back. We'll preview that after this weekend's game and spend some more time with that. But today we're celebrating the Mateer commitment to the Sooners. The more stuff we have in place now, the less anxiety. I know that there was a lot of that going around, trying not to panic, but everybody was getting a little bit aggro because the uncertainty of it all. But now that it's going forward, have the plan in place, can really start moving forward and looking forward to the spring game in April. That's going to be right around the corner. So there's going to be a ton of excitement around the new offense, around the new quarterback, seeing what's happening with this defense again. So Sooner Nation, take that collective breath and be stoked about what the future might bring. And the Sooners are starting to plug some holes too at other positions, hitting the portal this week. Just got another offensive tackle, Derek Simmons from Western Carolina. He had some other contenders, 6'6", 325-pounder. The fourth overall tackle left in the portal. So high grades on this guy. Obviously, we had all the trouble with the line last year with all the injuries. Had some people leave in the portal. So just trying to plug a few holes. I think there might be more later as well as some of these teams end their playoff runs. So not done working the portal, but it's good to address positions of need. Also, Keontez Lewis, the wide receiver out of Southern Illinois. He commits to the Sooners. 6'2", 190 pounds. Say the number 87 wide receiver available. 11 games in 2024 for the Salukis. What's up, Sandy? Your Salukis, bro. 49 receptions, 813 yards, 5 touchdowns, over almost 17 yards per catch. I like that. Got a little bit in the ground game as well. So they're adding him, and they also added Giovanni Gibson on Wednesday. Arkansas Pine Bluff wide receiver, 6'3", 205. He had a great year last year. Now, lesser competition, but still 70 receptions, 1,200 yards, and 9 touchdowns. 6'3", 205, 6'2", 190, whatever it was. Add that to Jaden Gibson, who stayed put. Got some big dudes on the outside going for some size and speed out there. I like what we're doing. And even more good news for the Sooners this week. Deion Burks said he's going to run it back with these guys. He was the buzz all of spring, was doing great, did great in the spring game leading up to the season, dealt with some injuries and, not the best production at quarterback play. Coming into next year, will now be sporting number 4. Hopefully can be healthy and stay healthy. Expect a lot out of Burks in the upcoming season. But now attacking, getting some size at the position. Hopefully the youngins that got some reps can turn those into a quality play moving forward. It's pretty exciting what's going on with the Sooner Nation plugging these holes. We did, you might notice number 4, Deion Burks, is picking up. That's because we're losing Nick Anderson. Thought there might be a little wiggle room for him to potentially come back, but when we saw Burks with that number 4, you knew he was completely out. I don't know that we'll get to the bottom of what happened with the training staff. Who knows? Whatever it was, Nick is gone. He's headed to LSU. So we will get to see him next year. Jackson Arnold heading to Auburn. We'll get to see him next year too. So no ill will towards these guys, but hopefully we make them pay when we do battle with them next year in the what could have been games. We thought that Nick and Jackson Arnold would be the combo to lead us in the next few years, but how football is now, man. It's changing. It is the Wild West out there. You're having to re-recruit your guys every year, and that might not even be enough. And then teams come in with more money. Some guys will be short-sighted, and they'll take that money. Some guys will not continue to work their tails off because they're getting that money up front. What is that going to do long-term to the careers for some of these people? It's definitely going to shorten it. It's obviously adding money into the mix, which will help some people, but is that going to kill that drive to work and continue to get better and try to get to the next level? There's some good and bad with it. There needs to be some kind of regulation. We got to get some kind of level playing field. I think we're going to continue to see, if you want to call it an evolution of the college game. I don't know if that's the right word, but it's definitely going to be changing. Old college football is dead. It is dead. So what do we do moving forward? Do we have to get a players association? I think so. Contracts for these guys? I think so. So the times, they are changing, my friends, and that hopefully that's a good thing. I think it probably will be. These guys deserve some money, but it will have some unintended consequences that we won't know for a while, and it will definitely impact the game. Also, earlier in the week, just to go back real quick, Sooners also added Luke Baklenko, the Stanford offensive lineman, played some tackle, and I think he played some guard too. So fill in those needs, getting some spots. If we can just stay healthy at O-line, Bill will figure out his best 5. And some of those young guys got reps. I expect that to be much better than it was last year. Some of those guys got playing time a little too early. Some on-the-job training struggled a little bit, but another offseason in the program with those reps under their belt, I think we're going to see a huge improvement in that offensive line. and I'm completely stoked for it. So more to come in this transfer portal. We'll probably know more before next week's game. And if not before that, definitely once some of these teams fall out of the playoff race too. I think the portal closes on the 28th or the 29th. So, yeah, a little bit more time. We shall see a little bit more movement. So lots to be excited about. And like I said, this is the new college football. So brace yourself because this is what it is. And speaking of what it is, baby, the 12-team college playoff starts in just a couple days. Oh, it's going to be absolutely outstanding. And it gets started on Friday night when Indiana goes to Notre Dame. Betonline has the Fighting Irish as 7-point favorites in that one. And I'm just completely stoked to see a playoff game in a college setting, man. This thing is going to be absolutely wild. Signetti Pack trying to smoke them Golden Domers. I'm not sure if that is going to be on the board or not. Notre Dame had the inexplicable loss early on to Northern Illinois. How'd it happen? I don't know. But since then, they've been playing better football. Riley Leonard getting that pass game going a little better. That defense, lock solid, running game, doing work too. But it's going to come down to maybe not in this game, but Riley Leonard will have to do it through the air. Will he be able to? We're going to find out. But I fully expect Notre Dame to win that game at home and move on. And then the morning game, SMU at Penn State. Penn State, 8.5-point favorites in that one. Be interesting to see if SMU can get out the gate a little bit quicker than they did in the ACC championship against Clemson. Got that slow start, got it tied up late, had the bad kick return and the 56-yard field goal to lose the game and send Clemson into the playoff. So hopefully SMU learned from that game, the size of that game. That was the biggest game a lot of those players had ever been in. So that should help them moving forward. Will it be enough to go to Penn State in front of 110,000 and pull off the big upset? It's going to be fun. Cannot wait. And then after that, we've got Clemson at Texas. Oh my goodness, baby. And BetOnline has them Longhorns as 12-point favorites. Texas was battling to get into try to get the SEC championship in its first year. Was unable to beat Georgia, the only really strong team they played all year, and they lost to them twice. It'll be interesting to see what Clemson can do in this game. Can they hang with them? Quinn Ewers not playing the best football of the season right now. Can that Clemson defense come through? Oh, we got tickets for this Texas game. Just wanted to look on Ticketmaster real quick. $100. That's cheap. If you're in that area, get down there and look around, baby. Let's see what the highest price ticket is. Let's see what the best ticket is. Best ticket. What we got here? $500. That's not bad. $466, $490. All right. If you're gonna be a baller, go be a baller. Why not? Let's see what those Notre Dame tickets are. I know this isn't the best podcasting to go through hunting on the computer, but I want to see how much these tickets are, see where the interest in them is. So let's go back to Notre Dame. Friday night, the standalone game. We got tickets as cheap as, oh, these are a little bit pricier. Okay. So, yeah. They're looking at the cheapest tickets I see here are $600, baby. Whoa. Lots more. Ooh, some going for over a gur here. We're looking at $1,000 for some tasty ticks. Okay. A little more interest there. That's a little bit surprising that there's not more interest there in Austin and you can get the tickets that cheap. Let's go ahead and go out to the shoe. Our other game is Tennessee at Ohio State. And Tennessee, 7.5-point dogs in this one. They've not done their best performances on the road. That is a little bit of a bummer if you're pulling for Josh Heupel and those Tennessee Vols, which I am. So can they go on the road and get that? I think that the Ohio State fan base is looking to rage no matter what. Okay, so we got some tickets for $250 here. 300, not a lot available. 600 for the club level, 620. That's not too bad. Okay. You're going to have to spend a little more for that if you want to get there. Let's go ahead and look at the Penn State tickets, see what those are going for. It's embarrassing, Texas. Your tickets are the cheapest ones out there. What's up with that? Let's look at this. College football playoff. These might be a little bit cheaper because I don't know how well SMU is going to travel to this game. Oh, yeah. Before I dog Texas out, it looks like you might be able to get into. So you can get into this. You can get in this Penn State game for $50. What are you going to be doing, people? Why wouldn't you be there? $70. See how much the good tickets are. A lot cheaper here. Okay. What is up with that, Penn State? I would expect that to be a little more expensive, but apparently playoff football, whatever, huh? All right. $250 for basically midfield seats. People, get out there and go to these games. That is so cheap. It's going to be cold, but who the hell cares? It's the first round of college football playoffs ever. Why wouldn't you want to be part of it, especially if you can get in under $100? Shit, I should almost buy someone a ticket just so they can attend the game and report back to me. Let me know how it goes. Oh, and it's going to be a stacked day of football on Saturday. We obviously have the Friday night standalone Indiana at Notre Dame, college football tripleheader on Saturday, throw in an NFL doubleheader. We got the Houston Texans versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Mahomes rocking that ankle injury, fighting to hold on to that number one seed in the AFC playoffs. Texans got the AFC South wrapped up. And then we had the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens. Ravens still trying to hang on to have a shot at that AFC North. One of these teams looking for at least one home playoff game. So I want to see what the numbers bear out in this, what kind of eyeballs are on which games. I'll be watching them all, of course, because that's how I roll. But what kind of numbers, ratings-wise, will these college football games do compared to some pretty good NFL games? All four teams on Saturday are going to be in the playoffs. So it's not some scrubby, Jacksonville versus Carolina or whatever. Good teams battling with playoff implications. So I will be very curious to see what the numbers say, how big of audience is going to be tuned in for the college football playoff. I'm completely stoked for it. I think it's going to be great. Obviously, pulling for Clemson, of course we are. Come on, that's what we do. I guess I would like to see the upset Indiana, but I think Notre Dame would have a better chance against Georgia. Of course, rooting for SMU to pull the big upset, and then it would be the winner of that Penn State. SMU is going to play Boise in the Fiesta Bowl. winner Tennessee at Ohio State. The winner gets Oregon. We could have a rematch of that Oregon-Ohio State game. That would be pretty sexy, right? And then, of course, the winner of Clemson and Texas will battle Arizona State in the Peach Bowl. If Clemson can win that game, a little home field advantage out there in the Peach Bowl, doing Arizona State no favors with the early start and as far away as possible from their home crowd. No matter who they end up playing, they will. I think their fans will not. Their fans will be outnumbered in that game. But you know what? Go on the road and do it. Who gives a shit? Get out there and win the damn ball game, and then your fans will come because it'll be in the next round. It'll be something sweet. But new taste in college football. It's going to be awesome. 4 college playoff games this weekend. NFL doubleheader. Sunday, full slate of NFL games. Monday night NFL. And then we get prepped for the Armed Forces Bowl, OU versus Navy. Hopefully we have more information about any opt-outs we might have. I'm sure some of those guys are. Maybe we'll have more information of some of the guys that are going to stay and play next year now that the Sooners have the quarterback dialed in. That might make people reconsider if they were going to bounce or come back and give it one more run. Also, if there's any high-end players still out there that are looking at a situation, maybe having the quarterback now will give them thoughts about coming to Oklahoma. It's a great situation. It's a win. We will know more as we move forward, but we're in for just a tremendous weekend of football, and Stoke levels are rising, baby. Completely stoked for that, and I'm stoked for you guys. So enjoy the games. If you want, hit me up on any of the socials and let me know who you're rooting for, who you have advancing in the playoffs, who you have winning it all. We could talk about it. I'm totally into it. Also, head on over to believe.com. That's BLEAV.com. Go to shows, type in Sooner State of Mind, and you are locked. So much great content there, people. You would not believe it. Every team, every topic, everywhere, believe.com. And if you want to watch Sooners State of Mind, head on over to YouTube and search the Football Dudes. We are there. Also have the Trend Zone ready for you. If you need more delicious NFL football action, the Football Dudes have you absolutely covered. Sooner State of Mind is brought to you by Betonline. My name is Casey Mallon, and I am in a Sooner State of Mind.